Dice Tower Tonight, episode 96.
All you can seat.
Welcome to Dice Tower Tonight, a video cast about board games and card games, and especially the people who play them. On tonight's show, take a load off as we talk about our dream seating equipment for playing games. Is my plan to use beanbag chairs for the game room ill-advised? Also, I'm trying something new for Crystal and the chat to play. We run through some titles we've played lately, and we answer questions from the audience live. I'm Eric Summerer, and joining me now, the Enterprise Command Chair to my inflatable Barcalounger, it's Crystal Dax.
You should have said command chair to your inflatable Barclay Lounger.
Ooh.
Then it would have been perfect. Hi, Eric.
Sure.
How are you doing tonight?
I am doing wonderfully, Crystal. It has been, we were talking before the show started, it has been quite the 2 weeks. There has been a lot of stuff going on. I had my first in-person game group meeting since the pandemic started, and got to play some real games with real adults, and just had a fantastic time doing that. And there's been movement on the game room front. Which is fantastic, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Just all sorts of stuff going on. Crystal, how about you? How have your 2 weeks been?
My 2 weeks have been incredibly busy as well. And yes, I have a few friends who are vaccinated, and we've gotten together a couple of times to play board games. And weirdly, something that affected me more than I thought it would, like we had gotten together a couple times on like a weekend, which we used to do in the past. But like the thing that we were doing pre-pandemic is we had a local board game meetup that I was running at a local game store on Thursday evenings. And I'm still not at the point where I want to go game in a public place quite yet. But for all my vaccinated friends, we had been playing online on Thursday nights instead. And this past Thursday, I said, why don't you all come over to my house? And they did. And it weirdly affected me differently to be playing games on a Thursday night again, which I didn't expect. Like, I was just like, we're playing together on a Thursday. This is what we used to do. And it felt really good. And we've been playing new games and also bringing like old favorites back to the table, and everything feels good. All of it. Like, I'm just like, I'll play anything. I don't care. You bring out Monopoly and I'll play it. It's fine. Like, we didn't play Monopoly, but I own Monopoly, so we could. So.
Yeah, it's been really nice to just be across the table from somebody, and there's that sense that we had a little bit of a hiccup in just getting back into the scheme of things. We played a rather heavy game, and it was sort of like, okay, all right, now here. I haven't been playing these levels of games in a while, so maybe I need to slow down and think about this a little bit. So it was a little bit of an adjustment, but it was so nice to just get to be together again.
And there have been specific types of games that couldn't be played online, including the game that I told you 2 weeks ago, Eric, that I ordered off of eBay based on the topic that we were talking about, which was marbles, and I now own the 1976 game Avalanche.
Oh my goodness.
It is a really thin box, surprisingly. Like it's an odd shape for sure. And the rules are on the inside of the lid, as
Sure.
per usual with games from this era. And it is exactly what I wanted it to be. It kind of fills the same space similar to Drop It, in that it's got great visual table presence. It's a light dexterity-esque game where, you're just dropping balls into this little thing and trying to get them to drop out. There's 3 different game modes with it that you can play, and they're all on the inside of the box lid. And yeah, my friends liked it. It was fun. This is going to be a great one, I think, to bring to conventions just as like a fun little filler game. So a win on my eBay purchase based on our previous conversation.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah.
So we need to talk about some games. We should get right into this and talk about stuff. Do you want to go first, or should I go first?
You can go first.
Okay. One of the games I got to play at the live in-person game session is this new one from Board and Dice called Mandala Stones. The designer is Philip Glowash. Had to practice that one for a little bit. Hopefully I got close, at least. Mandala Stones talks about the artistic technique of mandala. We're creating patterns, and the components of this are really slick. Let's see how well I can do this without tipping everything over. So this grid, do not fall. Okay. This is a grid that would be totally covered with stacks of these Mandala Stones. These are these nice two-sided embossed stones in 4 different colors, and they have 2 different patterns on them. It's a little tricky to see, but one of them sort of has a circle around it like this, and one of them is a little bit more of a flower type pattern like this. So there's 4 colors, 2 patterns on these things, and then there are these artists that also have those 2 patterns on them. So the circle pattern and the floral pattern. So on your turn, again, this is all full, you're going to take one of these artists, or actually you can choose to either score stones that you have, but if you don't have anything on your board yet, then you choose to take. So you'll take one of these artists and move them to another place on the board, and then you look at the pattern that's on the artist and the patterns that are on the stones, and you get all of the stones that are next to the artist that you picked that aren't already next to another artist and that match the pattern that you have. So in this case, again, it's kind of hard to tell, but there are 2 of these that have the flower pattern, but one of them's next to this artist, so I can't take this one, but I could take this one. If I had done it the other way and taken, let's say these are here, if I had taken the circle one, and there's no other artist nearby, I get to take both of these, and I can choose the order in which I take them. So I have to sort of go in a clockwise order, but I can create possibly a stack of 4 if I do it right. And then, so now I have a stack of these stones. Ta-da! And these now go, I have to juggle all of this, onto my board. And I have to put that stack in one of those 5 positions on the bottom of this board. And each of those is going to score differently. Like some of them you want to have very short piles. Some you want to have larger piles. This one you want to have a variety of sizes of piles on your board. And this one you want lots of colors. So that's taking stones. I can also choose to score stones where I will choose piles that have the same color on the top and score all of those piles. So if I pick red and I've got 3 piles where red is the top stone, I can score all 3 of those piles based on the scoring rule. And then I take those top stones and put them on a third board like this, where I am now creating this spiral pattern where you've got repeating patterns and scoring extra points by hitting these little targets and stuff. So it's this flow of take stones, get them in the order you want, score them as efficiently as possible, and then put them on this board. And once you reach a certain point on the board, that's when the game ends. It's a little bit of an engine as you're trying to churn along. It also has that pivot point idea where at some point you don't want to take too many more stones onto your board. You want to be scoring them so that you can whittle them down. And it takes a little bit of doing to figure out how to best approach some of these scoring piles. Like there's one pile where you want to have 4 tall, but you only remove the top stone when you score. So now it's only 3 tall. So you have to keep scoring that one in order to get it down to 0 where you can maybe get it to 4 again. That churn is tricky to get a hold of. But I like it. I really do. This one has a lot of potential. It's hard to get your head around at first, but I really like the way it all comes together and the way it sort of clicks in your head. There's some endgame bonuses you can work toward, which is nice. I love the production. The fact that they embossed both sides of these tokens means you're not pulling them out of a bag and having to flip them over and manipulate them. You just pull them out and stack them. Oh, I lost you. I lost your audio. What happened to your audio, Crystal?
Sorry, I was muted when the dogs were barking earlier, and I forgot to unmute myself, just like the pandemic thing that's happened to everybody 1,000 times.
Yes.
Not usually here for me, but no, I was going to say that it's those little things that matter. Like the embossing on both sides, it's not necessary, but it just makes the experience just, that much better.
The only complaint is that the grabbing of the pieces. You know how I said if you place in a intersection, you could possibly get 3 or 4 of those stones. And the way you stack them matters because you want certain stones to be on top. And it feels like what you want to do. Let me pull this thing out. what we kept trying to do is say, all right, I place here, and now I get this stone, and this stone. But that's the opposite of the way you're supposed to do it. The first one you take is supposed to be on the bottom of the stack. So what we had to figure out is go, okay, so I want this one to be on top, which means that the first one I take is this one. So I actually go counterclockwise and take them in this order. And it just took a little bit of extra, like they want you to take one, put it down, take one, put it down, take one, put it down. But it's just so much faster to go stack, stack, stack and grab it. And that,
yeah,
it took some doing, and we had a couple of times that we went, nope, that's not the order you're supposed to take them in. Oh, okay, wait, I want this one, then this one, then this one. Minor thing, it's more of a training wheels situation where you just have to figure out how to make it work. Mandala Stones, a lot of fun. It's, if you like abstract games, I saw someone in the chat go by saying it has a similar feel to Azul. I can certainly see the comparison here. But yeah, it's well produced. It's a neat game. It plays quickly, under an hour, I think. But a good one. I liked it a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, and it looks beautiful. So yes. That's a plus. All right. Well, before I show you the game that I played, or that I'm going to talk about kind of more at length today, I did want to say, Eric, that Sashi and Sashi got their website up, and last night while I was live streaming on Twitch, my copies of the Bus Route Dice game and Take the A Chord arrived, and so expect to hear from me about these very soon.
Yes, indeed. I admire your restraint for not ripping into that shrink immediately.
I mean, they came at like 8:30 p.m. while I was live streaming. It was late, and yeah, I have had no time. And then you actually tweeted today that you were interested to hear my thoughts on the escape room game that I played last night during my stream. So this is going to be super brief because I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I played one of the mythic adventures from the Unlock series last night, specifically In the Clutches of Hades, which is the easiest of the scenarios in this particular box. And it is Greek mythology themed. You are trying to rescue someone from the clutches of Hades, as the name would imply. And just to give my very brief thoughts, throughout most of this one, it was probably one of my favorite unlocks. Toward the end, there were a couple puzzles that really frustrated me. To the point where I looked up hints and then solutions in the included book. And when I saw what the solution was, I was mad about it. Kind of puzzle where you're just like, no, I would have never gotten there on my own. And then, of course, never say never, but most of the puzzles in this one were super awesome, all the way up until near the end. And then there were a couple that I hated. And so it kind of tempered the experience for me. But overall, though, this still, I think, would be considered one of my favorite unlocks. I would just tell people who are going to play this one, if you get toward the end and you're having difficulty, don't feel bad about looking stuff up. It comes with a book that gives you step-by-step breakdowns of the puzzles, which is really nice. That hasn't been in a bunch of the unlocks that I've seen.
That's a new thing in the last couple of sets. I think they started with Star Wars, and then then they've added this booklet. Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
It is. It's really nice. It's better than just the in-app hints if you need a breakdown or a visual kind of help with a puzzle. And I was able to help confirm some stuff for myself with it too. So In the Clutches of Hades scenario I liked, but with some caveats. What were your thoughts on this one, Eric?
I think similar. I was sort of breezing through it at first, and this is neat. I like the way these come together, but there was one, I think it had something to do with the river Styx, if I recall correctly. That one really annoyed me, and I think I reached the same point, and I said, wait, what? That's what you wanted me to do? Come on.
I was very angry. Kirk, in the chat, I have 3 dogs, not 2. So you'll see puppies all over the place generally when I'm streaming.
It's one of those things. Sometimes numbers are numbers, and they want you to see a number in something, and you aren't even thinking that is a number, and that's where I got stuck. And it sounds like you were in the same place.
Very much so. And it makes me feel better, though, at least when I get help from the game itself and the solution isn't something that I would have come up with. So I'm relieved that I took that help. But yeah, I can't say specifically why, but you and I, after the stream, if you want to know, there was one very particular thing about it that made me angry.
Okay.
Which,
I've had that
it's
response.
sometimes kind of fun to get angry at a game, because I think I was more angry because of how much I was enjoying it up to that point. If it had been a mediocre scenario, I don't think it would have mattered for me as much. Yeah. Are you playing with your duck right there? Really? She's like tearing up her toy duck behind me and making growling noises. So that's, yeah. You're fun.
Sure.
Okay, but all of that aside, let's actually talk about another game. So what I'm about to show you is a pre-production copy of a game. All components are most definitely not final. They are not what they're going to look like in the end, so take that for what it's worth. The game I'm talking about is a deck-building game called Jackpot Payout, designed by Chip Beauvais, and being released from Puzzling Pixel Games. They're going on Kickstarter on June 8th. At least that is the planned date as of now. And I don't know if you all recall, but deck building games generally are not my jam. Okay. I do like some deck building games, especially ones that have other stuff with them, like Clank, for instance. But when they reached out to me about this game, I wanted to try it because of the slot machine theme. It is about slot machines, and I live in Las Vegas, and I was like, okay, that's a cute idea for a game, so I wanted to try it out. So in Jackpot Payout, again, all these components are not final. Each player has a board that has their 3 reels on it, yep. And you have a deck of cards that have symbols on them. I'm going to grab...
Chip Beauvais is in the chat right now.
Oh, yay! Hi, Chip! And then you have a starter deck of cards that include some symbols and coins. And so there's, grapes and crowns and cherries, all the things you would expect to see on a generic slot machine, generally.
Yep.
And on your turn, when it gets to you, you draw the top 3 cards of your deck and put them into the reels on your player board. And you see if you scored a jackpot or not.
In order, or do you get to choose how it's just 1, 2, 3?
It doesn't matter. As long if they match, that is, if all 3 have matching symbols on them, then that's a jackpot. Okay. So you're just looking for 3 matching symbols generally. But regardless of whether you match or not, you then get to take a card from the display, and the cards in the display are from a different deck. They're different from your starter decks, and they often contain more symbols or like dual symbols or special powers that you can use that will make getting jackpots or acquiring other cards easier. And so then those will go into your discard pile like any deck building game. And eventually you'll be cycling those better cards through your deck. And what's really neat about it is when you score a jackpot, then you get all of the coins pictured on the cards in the jackpot. So whatever cards you've purchased, you get those coins, and all 3 of those cards then get removed from your deck. So there's this weird and cool balance between acquiring cards with special powers on them so you can score jackpots. But then if you score a jackpot with that card, it's going to get removed from your deck. And so there's this, you almost sometimes don't want to score a jackpot because you're like, well, I want to keep this card for a little while longer. It's got a cool ability that'll let me pick up other things. You can also acquire wilds throughout the course of the game. There's some that have no abilities and some that have special abilities on them. The wild that actually starts in your deck will allow you to remove other cards from your deck. And that is important because the end of the game can potentially get triggered by somebody reducing their deck all the way down to 6 or fewer cards. But the way the game typically ends is when the bank of coins, which is set up based on the number of players, has been exhausted. So there are a couple different in-game conditions. This, as far as deck building games go, is definitely on the lighter side, which for somebody like me who isn't super keen on deck building games is actually a really good fit. This feels like the type of game that if you're a deck building fan, like you really like deck building games and you want to get your more casual gaming friends or family into deck building, this feels like a really good place to start because it's relatively simple. And I think most people are familiar with the slot machine theme. And also it's really exciting when anybody scores a jackpot. Like, it doesn't matter who. when me and my friends were playing this, I literally went to YouTube and found like a generic like slot jackpot noise on YouTube, and I had it at the ready. And anytime somebody flipped up their third card and we saw that they matched, I would click it and we would hear the jackpot noise. So it was really fun in that regard. It is definitely simple. It's light. There isn't a ton of like deep strategy here. You're trying obviously to add symbols into your deck that are similar because you want to be able to score those jackpots and get those coins. The special ability cards are pretty cool. I will pull out a couple of those. And there are basic cards and advanced cards that come with the game, and so you can kind of ramp up the difficulty or the like complexity of the game to some degree.
Okay.
I actually just grabbed the expert cards. So yeah, like there's one that's generous where you have to give cards to other players from the display. So you actually get to divvy up cards to other people, or flush, name a suit, replace all cards in the display that match that suit. So you can kind of clear out the display of available cards to some degree. Huh. There's all of the things that you kind of wish for in a deck building game, but like simple. They're just, like you can refresh the display, you can pick up cards easily, and there are some cards that you can only acquire if you've scored at least a pair of matching symbols on your board. So it's not like you always have access to everything, because I think that would make it a little bit too uninteresting if you could just always pick up whatever card you wanted.
Right.
But again, the components, I will say, for this pre-production copy, not the best. The boards warped pretty severely when they hit the Nevada desert, so I imagine they were somewhere humid before they got to me. But obviously this has no bearing on what the final game is going to look like.
Right.
So I had fun with it. I really enjoyed it, and it's neat to have a slot machine themed game, and I live in Vegas. Like, that's just fun. So that's Jackpot Payout from Puzzling Pixel Games, coming to Kickstarter on June 8th.
Yes, Chip did confirm that. That's when they're planning to launch it, at least. As someone who, when visiting Vegas, does occasionally play the slots, that's something that has me interested as well.
Awesome. Okay, and I forgot, Eric, 2 seconds before we hop into whatever madness you've got for me. I know, I'm showing a lot of things tonight, but I also got another thing that's going to be coming to Kickstarter soon, but it's not a game. It is Beth Sobel's deck of playing cards that she has designed. And it is the most beautiful deck of playing cards I've ever seen. And that is not an exaggeration. I'm literally just going to hold it up and start flipping through.
Oh,
because it is gorgeous. The artwork on these cards, and it's all, Beth created all of this artwork. She's been working on this game for years. And did I say game? Did I say artwork?
You said artwork, but she's been working on the deck for years.
The deck of cards. And I mean, yes, we are hobby board gamers, but like having a 52 deck of cards in your collection is kind of important. Like, there are games, and honestly, you can play a lot of games with a 52 card deck. The coolest part are, from my point of view, are the Jack, Queen, and King of each suit, which show a single person at different stages in their life. So like young, then like a little bit older, and then a little bit older. And they're all gorgeous. I will flip through a few more. I don't want to take up too much time here. But I also have to show off the jokers. Look at these, Eric. Look at them. One is like a tiny little. Oh, it's upside down. Hold on, they're upside down. They're so cute. There's like fantastic. A little chipmunk, tiny chipmunk, and a bear. I don't know what the date is for this Kickstarter specifically, but I would literally recommend this deck of cards to anyone. Like, everybody needs a deck of cards, and this is one that your friends will ooh and ah over every time you bring it out. So yeah. I had to show you all. I'm so excited. And the card quality is like really good, but Beth told me it's going to be even better in the final production. This is like it's going to be Hoyle, I think she said, for the final.
Okay.
She named a specific company, and I think it was Hoyle, but now I'm doubting myself. Regardless, they already are great, and they're going to get better. So Yeah, Sorrow Song in the chat said Beth So will insta-buy for most things. Yeah, I've loved Beth's artwork in board games for years, so having a deck of cards with her art on it is an easy decision for me.
All right. Well, that is many things, and it's
I know.
time to...
I'm so sorry. I had to like fit it all in. You said there's been a lot that's happened in 2
been a
weeks.
lot.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna play something. I think it's time to play a game with the chat. We're gonna try something new. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm not real sure how it goes, but I actually need to do a quick change of venue here. So we're going to switch cameras. It's me zoomed in, but for a second we're gonna switch to a different camera while I move this one. Just so you're not getting sick while I move this around. You get to see part of my booth.
Eric, our friend Mandy, is in the chat.
No,
Mandy,
really?
hi. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, let's see how this goes when I switch over here. That is not quite arranged properly. Ta-da. There we go. So, we're going to play a game of classic concentration, Crystal.
Okay.
Are you at all familiar with that classic game show?
I am familiar with concentration, although it has been a very long time.
So, underneath this grid of 25 squares is a puzzle, a board game themed rebus puzzle. The object is to guess what the puzzle solution is. The way you're going to do that is by revealing pairs of tiles and hopefully getting matches. So here's how we're going to do this. I am going to ask Crystal to find a pair. You're going to name 2 numbers. We're going to flip over the tiles. If you get a match, we remove those tiles. And then you get to guess one guess at the puzzle. Okay. If you are unsuccessful, then the game continues. We'll take turns. Chat is also going to get to remove sets of tiles. Now, chat, the way you're going to do this is by giving me 2 numbers. Give me a number, space, a number, and I'll take the 6th answer each time we run through these. I'll remove those 2 tiles. If that is a correct match, whoever guessed that pair gets to take the guess on the puzzle, just so we're not doing 6th answer, 6th answer, 6th answer. Right. And we will continue back and forth until somebody has solved the puzzle. So, Crystal, you probably shouldn't look at the chat.
Okay.
But everybody else, you can collaborate all you want, and we'll see how well we can make this work. So, Crystal, you get to go first, and chat, you might as well start putting out a pair of tiles for you as well, and I'll take the 6th there, because I doubt you're going to get a match right off the bat. So, Crystal, what would you like to start with?
I would like to start with 7 and 17.
7 and 17. Now you get to see me have to pry these out of here.
Yeah, right.
7 is a blue square, and
okay.
17 is a blue circle.
Okay.
Sorry, unfortunately that's not a match, so I'm going to flip those back over, and then I'm going to count down to the 6th answer on chat.
And I'm not taking notes. I feel like that would be cheating.
So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chip jumps into the chat with 7 and 19. So 7, once again, we're going to know as that blue square. And 19 is a green clover. Let's call that a clover. All right, Crystal, you're up next.
All right, I'm going to go with 5 and 10.
So you're going to pick easy ones for
me. Oh, well, so wait, do I have to pick both of them at the same time, or can I pick one and then
you
pick
get
the
the advantage of picking one at a time. Chat, because they're a collective guess, has to pick it one at a time.
Well, since
so 5.
5 is not a match to anything, we'll go ahead and flip over 10.
Okay. And 10 is purple square. Now it's a little difficult to tell in the color matching because of the lighting, but that is a purple square and not a blue square.
Okay.
I tried to pick colors that were not similar, so I don't think I have the same shape and the same color. So chat is going again. I will go with all right, I've got 1 with Eric. Let's just start picking from after Chip. No, we'll go with Eric as number 1. So Eric says that one. Jerry says 8 and 9, but we're not choosing that one yet. 10, 17, 7, 10. Okay. DJ Morgan says 15 and 21. So we'll pick 15. That is a yellow clover. And 21 is over here. orange star. Crystal, you're up.
Okay. Let's go with 11.
Okay. 11 is a blue circle.
And wait. No. Hold on. There was 17.
I believe you're right. Yes, 17 is correct.
Okay.
So we get to remove those two. And Crystal, you get a guess at the puzzle.
Okay. Well, there's a lady. She's yelling something. So I'm going to guess yellow.
Yellow is incorrect, but okay.
Yeah, I figured as much.
All right. And Gator Dave was nice enough to put a line in the chat. Thank you very much, Gator Dave. So it's chat's turn again. I see. Is this a King Kong poster? Well, we'll find out. And Thea really wants me to choose 7 and 10. I think I know the game already. 12-14, 6-25. That's a third. Any second now, we'll grab something. I should just let chat choose. No, here we go. We're going to get it. And this is fun. We're waiting for one more person to... I'm just going to... Okay. Jay Put says 7 and 10.
But we know that those don't match.
We
one
do.
is blue and one is purple.
I'm gonna choose Jacob then. 23 and 3. Jacob says 23 and 3. So here's 3. It is a purple square. 23 is a red diamond.
Okay.
Crystal, you are up.
Well, I'm going to go with 3 and 10, please.
There's 3 and there's 10. There you go. Crystal, you get a guess.
So this puzzle is the name of a game?
It is the name of a game.
The name of a game. Pandemic.
It is not Pandemic.
Okay.
All right. Chat is guessing again. I've got Jerry already throwing in one set of numbers. Gator Dave's like, I know the purple square. Oh, wait. Too late.
Well, don't worry. My memory is going to start failing me pretty soon about some of the other pieces that we've revealed. I know there was a yellow clover. I don't know if I remember where it was. So.
All right. Chat, you are welcome to make another guess of numbers. All right. I've got 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets. They're coming fast and furious now. You know what? 4, 5, and 6. The Mr. E says 13 and 19. So here's 13 right in the middle. It is a yellow clover.
Well, crap.
19 is a green clover.
Oh, man, we found that one too. Oh.
So, Crystal, you are up.
Dang it, both of those have already been revealed and I don't remember. Okay, I'm going to do 15.
15 looks like this. It's a yellow clover.
Yes. 13.
And I think that was also yellow.
Okay.
Once again, you get a guess. Now, we'll see if chat can remember what the other pair was that you say we found.
Okay. It's weird. I don't want to talk out the puzzle out loud too much because then if I get it wrong, I'm going to give chat the edge. Do they get to solve the puzzle or is it just me?
They get to solve the puzzle. If they get a match, then whoever gave me that match gets to guess.
Okay, so... I'm going to pass. I don't have a guess.
Okay. All right, chat. I'm waiting for an answer. Gator Dave has put the line down, so I'm going with the 6th thing I've got. They're all guessing, like, where's the match? Where's the match?
Also, I love that I still act like I'm on camera, even though I know that I'm not on screen right now. Like, I'm still...
Yes.
I'm emoting.
All right, we've got a guess from Chip. We have a guess from Coraloo. That's 2. Oh, come on now, chat. That's 3. That is 4, 5, and the 6th one coming in right now is... Where'd you go? Come on, refresh. All right, Eric Knows-All says 7 and 19. So here's 7. I think we know that's a blue square. 19
is a green clover.
So that's a no-go.
Okay. I'm going to flip over 4.
4 looks like this. It is a green diamond.
And 8.
Starburst. Yellow starburst. I'm just going to grab my next set from... Here's Eric. 1, 2, 3... Gator Dave put the line in. Okay. Send in more guesses there, chat. They're discussing what they're seeing in the pictures.
I mean, that's a smart call.
Yep.
I'm trying to figure that out as well. I have an idea what that last picture might be, but I haven't quite figured out in my head
1, 2.
what game title it could relate to.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. DJ Morgan says 8 and 23. So here's 8 again. It's the starburst. And 23 is a red diamond.
Okay.
Is that the first time we've seen the red diamond?
I believe so.
A red diamond.
Oh, did we see a red diamond? I don't remember.
I feel like we've seen a red diamond.
Oh, okay. Well, apparently I don't remember that, so maybe chat will. I'm going to say 18.
18 looks like this. It is a orange star.
I know there was a star. I don't think it's the right color. I'm going to even, just in case, because I don't know where that one is, I'm going to say 21, because I know it was that shape, but I don't remember the color.
21 is the orange star. So,
ooh!
You get to see that.
Okay, that didn't, her elbow is not helping.
You're saying that's not what you needed to solve the puzzle?
No, it's not.
All right, chat, you can start putting in your next numbers while Crystal's thinking.
Zombicide.
Zombicide is not correct, but a lovely guess.
I mean,
this
okay.
game is in the top 100 of Board Game Geek. I guess I should say that.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to look, for the record.
Yeah, people are saying this is a game for young people. I can't remember any of this anymore.
I had a moment of weirdness today when I realized that I've been out of high school just as long as my life before I graduated from high school, like 18 years on both sides, and that kind of tripped me out a little bit.
It's sort of like when you realize you've lived in one place longer than you haven't lived in one place.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3,
like I've been
4,
in Vegas
5, 6.
for 13 years now, and that seems bananas to me.
Somehow DJ Morgan has gotten all of the lucky draws. Their timing is perfect. 20 and 16. So 20 is a blue square. 16 is a green diamond. So that's a no-go.
All right. We are going to flip over number 7.
7 is here.
And then we're going to head back to 20.
And 20, blue square.
Ooh.
It's more of the puzzle.
Oh man, that last item is what I think it is. Why can't I think of what this is?
Chat, Crystal is definitely working off of your goes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
They're like, Crystal's memory is fine. Go ahead and get those next numbers in there, chat. Crystal doesn't sound like she knows the answer quite yet.
No,
but we're getting there.
I'm trying to think of like any game in the top 100 that. Wait, no. Is it? Could it be? I'll just. Is there? It's still in the top 100. It must be Puerto Rico.
It is not Puerto Rico.
Okay. That doesn't exactly fit the images, but it like vowel sound wise kind of fit a little bit. So
there is a wild somewhere in here, because if you did the math, there's only 24, or there's 12 pairs, and then there is a wild. So if you find the wild, it's an instant success at making a match.
Okay.
But then that does leave a dead pixel on the board as well. So I got 1, 2, 3 from chat this time. Something by yellow, maybe, says Gator Dave. That might be something. It might not be.
I think I feel like I had a concentration video game when I was a kid on the NES. Can anybody in chat, I mean, I can't see the chat, but can anybody in chat confirm that, like, on the Nintendo, there was a, like, home version of concentration? Because I think there was.
Coralu says 1 and 6. So 1 is a orange circle. Red diamond on 6.
Okay.
Crystal?
23, I think. Yeah, and then 6. Okay.
I don't know if you revealed a whole lot. Get this one straight again. There we go. There's a couple of very critical ones that need to be removed here.
Okay, yeah, we're still missing. I feel like I should be able to put it together, but so far my brain is not. So I'm just gonna say Twilight Struggle.
It is not Twilight Struggle.
Okay.
All right, I'm just gonna start.
Hey, at least I can name games in the top 100.
A lot of people are guessing the pair that you just picked. All right.
They didn't have faith in my ability to remember.
Got a guess from Jerry. I've got a guess that's a valid pair. Jerry's always... I'm going to take Jerry's guess because, you know, Jerry's jumping in very quickly. 2 and 9, says Jerry. So 2 is this red starburst. And 9 is also a red star. Jerry! How did you do that? So Jerry gets a guess. So I'm watching for the next thing from Jerry because it's going to take a little bit to catch up.
Yes, because of the delay.
But that did reveal some more of the puzzle. Jerry is a witch, says Gator Dave.
I mean, you have to see if he floats first. That's the trick.
All right. So Jerry is waiting to guess, or is actually looking to is collaborating with chat at the moment.
I want to say that's cheating, but it isn't because I've been getting to reveal all this
well,
stuff.
Yeah.
So.
So you have the advantage in picking, I think. And,
Yep.
So Jerry says Maracaibo, which is incorrect, but a lovely guess. So I think it's back to Crystal now.
I will admit, and I'm sure it's pretty obvious to everyone that, yeah, like that last thing is definitely a bow. So
you have to get a match if you want to get the...
What ends in Ebo? Ebo. Something Ebo. Okay, I gotta find a pair first, and I actually don't know where any at the moment. Although I think there's at least one more complete pair that's known, but my brain has forgotten all of the things. Let's look at 4. No. Let's look at. Did we do 1 already? Probably earlier. Let's do 1. I want to see what it is. I don't care.
We've definitely done 1 before. It is an orange circle.
Orange circle. I'm at the point where I don't think much is going to help me. Let's go 12. I don't know. I don't remember.
12 is the wild.
Okay.
So you remove those 2, and you get one more guess.
One more. Okay, so I get to 2 Sinebo. 2 bath.
Chat, you can start guessing now if you'd like.
2.
Or putting out numbers at least.
2 people Ebo. 2. Like that's a bathroom sign. It's like a women's and men. unisex, like a bathroom sign. But like, what does that mean? Too signy bow. Too signy bow. Too freaking A, man. I'm gonna be mad at myself when I find out what this is.
I think you might be.
Oh. I'm going to pass it over to chat and let them take a shot.
Okay, so I've got a set of numbers from Gator Dave, one from Eric, the Mr. E. I'm just waiting for another guess. And one more. All right, DJ Morgan says 24 and 4. So here's 4. It is a green diamond. 24 is a yellow starburst. Sorry, that's a no-go. Crystal, you get another guess. My 4.
Let's look at 22, shall we?
22 looks like this. It is a purple star.
Don't remember. How about 8?
That is a yellow starburst.
Oh, okay.
Which I think we have seen elsewhere. All right, chat.
I think we have.
You got to give me that pair of numbers.
Chat gets it.
There's a lot of very entertaining answers coming from chat. My fingers are crossed. If they just get this pair,
I think they'll get it. I think somebody in chat will be able to nail this.
I think it's just a matter of them getting a match.
Yeah.
If they can get the
Which
match,
I believe they'll be able to do. I'm rooting for you, chat, even though we're playing against each other.
So Gator Dave has put the line down. It's just a matter of getting. All right, I see a pair. I see another pair. I see a third pair. Oh, come on, chat. I'm rooting for you too. All right, Gator Dave says 4 and 24. So here's 4.
That is not what I was expecting.
It is the diamond. 24 is a yellow starburst. That's a no.
All right. Well, I'm going to flip over 8 and 24.
8 is the starburst. 24 is also the starburst.
Oh. Too many bones.
Too many bones.
That last bit was the thing that we were missing.
Chat had this like 8 clues ago.
Oh, really?
I think Eric Knows All had figured it out, and chat just went, "Yep, that's it. We just need a match." So, that's it. That is the whole thing. Well done, Crystal, but well done, chat, as well, because
absolutely,
you folks had it figured out some time ago. I enjoyed this. We just need to figure out a faster way to get people to make those guesses, because
for sure. Also, now I want chat's opinion. What's the name of that game where you say words next to each other, but then when you speak them out loud, it sounds like something else, and you have to guess what the phrase actually is? Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, you would say, I don't know how to Google it because I don't know what it's called, but like, you say words, but when you say them quickly, it sounds like something else, and people have to guess what the something else is. It's not Mad Gab, I don't think. It's like, hopefully somebody in chat will know, but I think that would be a fun one to play on stream that we've never done.
That would be fun. So we just spent a lot of time playing a game, and we haven't gotten to the subject of discussion at all.
Well, we should get to it now then.
We absolutely should. So I mentioned at the top of the show that there's been some movement on my game room front. As you know, I've been working at turning a formal living room here in the new house into an actual game room. One IKEA got the shelves in stock. This Monday, I broke for lunch. I was recording in the booth, and I broke for lunch, and my phone buzzes, and it's a text message from IKEA. Your shelves are in stock. And I'm like, how much do I still need to record today to be done with work? So I, rushed back and finished the 40 pages I still needed to do to make quota, hopped in the car, drove to New Haven, and got my shelves. So that is done. However, I can't build them yet because we're having the room painted, and I have to wait for that to happen. Otherwise, I have to move 10 shelves and not 6. Also, I ordered a table in the last couple of weeks.
That's exciting.
I went with one of the Rathskellers models, and they sent this thing after I put in my deposit. It says The Amazing Table Diary of Eric Summerer, and it's this metal. This is wood. It's a wood book that's got a hinge on it, and inside is all of the stains and felt and speed cloth options and stuff. And so I've been
that's cool. That's really cool.
Feeling them. That's so neat. And then testing out the color options. So I think I'm going with this 90 stain.
Okay.
And this purple microfiber and a burgundy speed cloth because I got the double-sided thing. I went with a Phalanx model table. So it's got built-in player stations, so you don't have to do. A lot of these tables have the rail systems and stuff that you attach the cup holders and trays and stuff. This has it built in to the table itself, which I'm kind of excited about. And it also has metal legs, which is a little more interesting than some of the block designs that we were looking at that have very straight, solid, chunky legs, which I was fine with, but my wife was like, no, I'd like it to look interesting. So that was what we went with. But now I have to figure out what we're going to sit on. Because right now, here's what my gaming situation has been built totally on portability. I've got one of those game toppers, which is all about using and then putting away. You can, put it in a bag and put it away, and you don't have to worry about it. And my seating has been similar. This is my current game seating. These IKEA, they're functional. They don't have a huge profile, but this is not very comfortable. Not very comfortable to sit on. Yeah. For a long session of gaming.
I'm currently using folding chairs as well. Mine are a little bit fancier than that, and by fancier I mean big lots. But they at least have padding on both the back and the seat. So there's a little tiny bit of comfort, but not a lot.
So I'm faced with what to get. And well, if you search for a gaming table, you get a relatively small number of results. There's still lots of options, but you get sort of a focused set of here are good gaming tables, and they all sort of fall under the same category. But as far as seating for gaming, there's so many options, and you search for, dining chairs or gaming chairs or any of that, and there's just so much. And I need to narrow it down because my head is swimming with possibilities. And so before I get into my list, what do you look for in a gaming, in a seat to be playing games in?
I have to say, I spend a lot of time sitting because I work in an office, and I have a desk job, so I am sitting more often than not just gaming wise, but in life. I spend a lot of time sitting, and as most people probably are aware, we humans don't tend to sit in a way that is the most healthy for our body. We tend to slouch or lean or do whatever. And so I see a chiropractor once a month, for one thing, because of all of that. But then secondly, I really want to sit somewhere comfortable when I'm gaming, because if my mind is focused on discomfort, then I can't enjoy the gaming experience as much. So for me personally, I've actually been known to bring a memory foam cushion with me. If I'm going to back at, pre-pandemic, obviously, a big long gaming day at a brewery in town, or a restaurant or whatever, not I've never done this at a convention, but a big long game day, I know I'm going to be sitting for 8 to 9 hours. I will bring my own dang cushion. I do not care if I get judgmental looks for this. It'll make my booty a little bit more comfortable. And yeah, like hard plastic or wood, especially, it's not even just like the booty part, but like your legs can get really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Especially, ooh, I hate high top chairs. Absolutely hate them for long periods of time because like they affect the circulation in your legs. And so unless you can prop them up somehow on like the slats of the chair or whatever. So for me, I'm looking for comfort above all else, but comfort is different for different people. So if you're trying to stock your own game room with seating that will work for everybody, that can be difficult. And right now in my game room, I literally have a bunch of folding chairs and my old office chair. And I will admit, the old office chair is kind of nice in my game room. Like that one, I don't want to get a whole bunch of office chairs because they're too big and bulky to use a lot of, but like
Yeah.
it works pretty nicely. It's got armrests and other stuff too. So
Well, so that's actually a possibility. I was looking at, first thing I was looking at dining chairs because I'm getting a nice table and was thinking nice chairs as well. And there's tons of options on that front. But then I was also, when I was looking for gaming chairs, found stuff similar to what you're sitting in now, but also stuff like what I'm sitting in right now. I've got an Arrow or a Herman Miller chair that I use. I also have a similar one in the booth that I narrate with. And thinking, well, I could just deck out make it look like a boardroom in an office, sort of, where you've got nice office chairs with armrests and back support and lumbar and all of that. And as long as it looks uniform and matches generally the color, it could work pretty well. When I was putting out feelers on Twitter at one point, and T from Haba mentioned that you need to think about how people are going to use the chairs. And some people don't like to sit just straight up and down like this. They might like to tuck their legs underneath or sit sideways or, in a way that's not necessarily the way that the chair is designed to be sat in. So having arms or having a bucket design might not work for everybody. And so that I'm not sure if that's the direction I want to go with. Someone in the chat said, "What do they use in casinos?" And one thing I stumbled on in my searching when I looked for poker chairs is a manufacturer that builds stuff for casinos. That they have lots of options in size and comfort level and fabric options and all, but it's designed as an industrial installation. So it's the sort of thing that you say, this is the chair I'm interested in, and a salesperson's going to call and say, here's the quote we can give you on this chair. I can't figure out how much they cost just looking online. But that's not a terrible idea because those are designed to be as comfortable as possible to get people to sit and stay and not get up from the slot machine or the poker table or whatever it is. I need to explore that more, though.
The most fancy slot machines nowadays when you go to the casinos are big chairs like this, but even bigger than this, and like they have speakers in the headrests, and some of them rumble, and like they're really like tricked out to some degree. But honestly, some of the like more minimalistic seating in a casino, padded stools for some slot machines and other places tend to be popular, which a stool allows for a lot of different types of ways to sit on it, but doesn't offer as much support in other areas, particularly in the lumbar area.
Yeah, I definitely want something with a back. We looked at one thing Rathskellers does make that goes with this table is a nice looking bench. It has this lovely bench that's the same design with the metal legs that slips under the table, and it's a really cool, clean design, but not what I wanted for the gaming aspect. We're not going to use
benches, this. Yeah. Well, and benches are great until the person in the middle needs to get up, and then it's awkward for everyone.
Yes. And while I'm getting the 8-seater, there's like 3, 3, and 2 on the ends, I'm planning to deck it out as a 6. So there's going to be plenty of room around the table. So I'm not too worried about width, or having somebody on a bench that has to get out in the middle. But having the ability to crowd more seats around is a good plan as well. What other option? No, so the bench I've written off. I want something with a back. And while I'm okay with dining chairs, this seems like the sort of thing that I need to shop for in person.
Yeah, it really does.
I need to go to a furniture store and sit down at everything and say, yes, I could play a 4-hour game sitting in this chair, and feel comfortable and as someone, I forget who in the chat, suggested waiting. Maybe I just wait till the table's here, 6-8 months from now, because that's what it's looking like. I might maybe have it by 2022. But then I will have it in the room, know what it looks like in the space, can visualize better the height, and I have those stats. I've got the measurements and stuff as far as clearance.
Right, but seeing it is different. It feels different.
Yeah. And it probably would not be a good idea to order online a bunch of chairs that I don't necessarily know how it's going to all fit together. What other things was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the fact that that I need to get 10 of them. So not only do I have the big gaming table, but I also have that table topper, the game toppers table, that I, thanks to the Kickstarter, have ordered one of those side rails. So I'm going to use that as a card table size, a 4-seater. So I'll have the big table for 6 and the small table for 4, and I kind of want the chairs to match. So talking about stuff like this chair, I think list price is like $400 or $500 for these. And when you're buying one, okay, this is my professional chair, I'm going to sit in this chair. But that's a lot when you're talking about getting 10 for a full game room. And there was Geek Chic had an all-wood chair that they called the 8-hour chair, which they said, you can sit in this, and for a full game session, it was contoured and stuff. It was a lovely chair, but I think it was also very expensive when you tried to put it all together. And when you're talking about decking out a game room, it's not just one chair you're talking about. You're talking about a full set. So ideally, I'd love something a little lower in the price range, so that I can get a full set of matching chairs. Unless I get just one really nice one for me, and then everybody else can sit in the IKEA folding chair.
Just sit in a folding chair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're already there. What are they going to do? Leave? Like, you've tricked them at that point. No, DJ Morgan in the chat actually brings up a good point that kind of ties back into something I said earlier. So I wasn't joking. I have a memory foam cushion that has like a handle on it that I could carry around with me, but it's just the seat part. But you can actually buy like cushions for dining chairs that have both like the back and the seat part, and they have like ties on them. So in theory, if a chair has like slats on it, you can tie them to the chair. So something like that might actually be a good middle of the road option if you find like a wooden chair that you really like the aesthetic of, but you're worried about comfort for some people. If you bought chairs that had a hard surface and then had those cushions available and people could use them or not at their discretion, just having that option to kind of switch it up might actually be really good too, because once you've sat on something for a while, mixing it up can be nice. And I imagine that you might be able to get away with more comfort for less money if you do that intelligently. But I think it would be a difficult task to do well. And honestly, those tie-on cushions are not like the classiest looking things, so it really kind of depends on the aesthetic you're going for.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. I don't want to spend a tremendous amount of money, but I did just spend a lot of money on a table.
Right, like you don't want to have folding chairs around it, right? Like...
Right. And so it is finding that sweet spot. A few people in the chat have mentioned some good ideas. Wayne has mentioned a particular IKEA chair, which I was just at IKEA. I have to go back now and try out the Henriksdal, Henriksdal. They're $85 a piece, says Wayne, and they've used it all day sitting on them, and it was comfortable. So I will explore that. Thank you, Wayne. I just need to start going to some furniture stores, I think, is the ultimate answer here. And just keep my eyes open. Coralu mentioned possibly finding used furniture. somebody that's getting rid of a dining room set or something that could match. Someone else mentioned church chairs, which I think Tom has suggested, and those are designed for comfortable seating in a pew situation, and probably come in lots of fabric options, and they stack, which could be useful depending on how I want to make that work. There again,
Okay,
I don't know if
well,
this has helped.
I mean, I will say that I just based on a quick Google search, I immediately found not just the Hendrix stall, but other websites that are not IKEA that sell chair covers for the Hendrix stall in tons of colors and patterns. So I don't know what, I didn't even look yet to see what IKEA offers color or pattern wise,
Yep.
but I just found a website that literally has probably 200 different, maybe that might be, well, no, that's probably about right, colors and patterns in covers that Velcro on over the chair. So in theory, I could have like bright neon pink covered IKEA chairs with my new gaming table. And mine's going to arrive before yours because I backed the Wormwood Kickstarter in 2019,
Yep.
and I'm in wave 7, which was originally slated for like July, August. I think they're about a month or two behind on shipping currently. So I will probably end up getting mine in the fall is my guess. But
Okay.
yeah, there's a hot pink cover on this site, and it's tacky as all heck, but I'll admit it's appealing.
So I guess you're going to be making this decision before I am. What are you thinking of at the moment?
It's honestly, it's tough for me. I was kind of thinking in the like interim I have folding chairs already, and I was thinking about possibly buying some like memory foam cushions to kind of supplement those for a little while. But I do eventually want something that looks nice, especially because since I'm going to have that Wormwood table with the topper, in theory, I could actually use my dining room for dining too, like I don't have to just use it for gaming.
Yep.
Even though it is just my game room basically at this point. But I want something that's comfortable, and I want people to feel comfortable in whatever seating I pick. So for me, cushion of some kind and back support are big considerations. And yeah, even though armrests can be really nice at times, since the table is going to theoretically have a place where people can lean onto, I want to be able to give people that option to tuck their legs underneath them or whatever. I don't want to do armrests on my chairs. So honestly,
Yeah.
this Hendrix stall looks really nice. So
I need to search. I'm worried that I'm going to lose something if I go searching on the various computers I'm using to stream right now. But I will definitely have to search that out. One other thing Coralu mentioned, where was it? I just saw a lovely comment and I totally missed it. It's gone now. It is scrolled away from me. The used
oh my gosh,
furniture.
Coralu said Crystal needs every chair to be a different color to make a rainbow. Then whatever chair you sit on will be your player color. I don't know about the player color thing, but a rainbow of chairs would be really, really cool looking.
That would be very cool.
But yeah, you can't do the player color thing because what if the next game doesn't have that player color in it?
Then you have to change chairs. That's it. It's built-in adjusting of seating.
Oh my gosh. So then I have to bring back that musical chairs game that I talked about recently. And then we're playing musical chairs with all the different colors. And then, oh man, it's like Inception.
I found Coralu's comment. It was about height adjustment.
Okay.
So one advantage to the office or gaming chairs is that they have an up-down adjustment, which would allow you to adjust how you fit into the table space so that you have the most comfortable leg arrangement.
And they also roll, which can be annoying, but can also be helpful if people do want to, slide around or slide out from the table easily. And especially if you're worrying about, like, I don't know what floors you have, but like if you're worried about scuffing or things like that, like wheels obviously are not going to scuff up a floor.
That was the last thing I had written down here was casters for wheels. It's a hardwood floor. I have not decided if I want to try and get a large rug to go underneath the table.
Okay.
But again, I think that's let's see how it looks in the room once we've painted it and have a table in there. But having casters, that's another plus for the office or gaming chair. I could go to Staples and get some nice executive chairs, really make it look like a boardroom in there. I
I
don't
don't
know.
want my game room to feel like a boardroom. I have to sit in meeting spaces at work. I don't want to do that at home.
I don't have that. I
I know. You know what? You can have your boardroom, Eric. And when I eventually come to visit, which is going to happen someday,
You are.
then I'll sit in the boardroom with you and Steph and the kiddos.
You need some business reason to show up in Connecticut because you are staying here. We've got the room.
Heck yeah. I'm very excited for that eventuality.
Well, I think we've sufficiently muddied the waters, and you've given me some things to think about for sure in exploring some of those IKEA options, and I will continue the research and perhaps maybe just backburner this for a little while. But I appreciate all of Chat's input and yours as well, Crystal. We have a few minutes. we
I
keep
mean, we
like
have as much time as we theoretically want. It's after 10 p.m. for you, so I kind of like letting you decide that at this point.
you know what I
Like,
picked up? I decided to sip this tonight. And I'm
so you're
feeling
ready and
great.
raring to go.
I am happy. You know, I took the first sip of this and went, ugh, I don't know if I like this, but now, woo.
Oh, we've all had that experience with beverages in our lives, I'm sure, where it's like, yeah, that's not good, and then yet you've drank the whole thing all of a sudden.
So anyway, if there's anything that you would like to ask me or Crystal, or share some other wonderful knowledge about what you've done in your gaming space and what has worked for you, please, we'd love to hear from you. Cora
I
Lou
will
keeps
say,
mentioning the 100th episode.
whatever chair I get, Eric, I have to be able to pull the Riker maneuver. I have to be able to get my leg up over the back of it. That's an important point of consideration.
Yep, definitely need to do that.
Sorry, what did Cora Lou say?
Cora Lou said, "Oh, the 100th episode is coming up soon." But I missed what Cora Lou said first. 100th episode is a good reason for something. I don't know.
I don't know what it's a good reason
I'm not
for.
sure what it's a good reason for.
It's probably something we said that I don't remember all of a sudden.
It could very well be. Someone asked if there are doors on the game room. No, there are no doors into the game room. It's like I said, it's a formal dining room or formal living room space. Originally, we have a house in which we have done none of what the house is intended to be. Like there's a sunroom that we turned into a dining room. There is a dining room that is an office/knitting room. There is a living room that is the game room. Like when we do sell this house, we are going to have to like change all the rooms back to what they're supposed to be. This is supposed to be a rec room. It's my office. Anyway.
The 100th episode is apparently a good reason for me to come visit you.
That...
I mean, it is a good reason. Whether my bosses would think so, or whether for the record, I actually have way more vacation time saved up right now than I ever do, because all of the traveling I typically do in a given year is board game related, and I haven't been doing any of that. But a week off from work is a tough sell when my team is technically 2 people right now because my boss just left the company a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so it's me and one other person trying to do both of our jobs and all of his responsibilities. And needless to say, it's tough to get time off right now.
Yeah, it's hard. But at the same time, you know, you haven't taken that time, and you know, going on a trip is exciting.
I need a break, truthfully.
Yeah.
Like I'm at that point where I'm like, if I just took a day off, it wouldn't be enough. Like I'm not fully like burned out, but I'm getting there. And so at some point I need to take a vacation.
Cora Lou suggests I can give you an office space. You can take care of some business while you're here, and then you can do like a working vacation. And then as soon as we hit like, you know, 4 or 5 o'clock, we can just play games.
I mean, if I was still working from home, that would be the case. But unfortunately, my company does not allow work from home anymore. So I have to be in the office.
Oh, well. So a couple of questions that went by. Speaking of trips, Jput asks, did I hear correctly? Will you be making an appearance at the Dice Tower studio for the Summer Spectacular? Yes. I am going to Florida. In just a little more than a month. So it's the week that would have been Dice Tower East, the July 5th week. Lots of live streaming, live playthroughs. I believe we're doing the Dice Tower Awards, and I am going to be in Florida. I get to see the new digs at the studio and be a live personality and see how the magic happens.
That's so exciting! I'm so happy for you.
I'm psyched. It's so far the only gaming event on my calendar. To get to go and hang out with the folks down in Florida. I am still considering PAX as a distinct possibility, just because it's semi-local. It's something I can drive to. But as far as the other big ones, those are currently not on the schedule. So this is my big trip for the year so far.
Yeah, I am potentially planning on bringing myself to PAX, but I don't have anything else currently scheduled travel-wise related to board games. So, yeah, Sorrow Song, as of now, that is not happening. Tom, admittedly, has been dealing with the pandemic like everybody else, and flying Eric down from the East Coast is not nearly as costly as flying somebody out from this side of the country. So I would imagine that's a major point of consideration.
Yes. Sorrow Song does mention there's a Star Trek convention in Connecticut. That's a business reason.
I mean,
I guess.
It's not the business that I work in.
It's a business.
It's some business. It's somebody's business, and I do love Star Trek. So,
DJ Morgan asks, what made you decide on the Rathskeller table? And I guess we can expand this to Crystal. What made you go with the Wormwood table? I was looking at several different companies, and I think I mentioned the aesthetics were important. My wife really didn't like there's a lot of block designs on these gaming tables that, they look solid and sturdy, and they're ready to hold the heaviest game you've got in your collection, but they're very square. And she wanted something with a little more style to it. So we were looking at some of the designs that have tapered legs and look more like dining room tables. And I came across the Felix design from Rathskellers, which, again, has the metal frame and then a wood top. And it had enough of a stylistic bent to it that Steph said, yeah, I can see that in the house. I like that. And so it sort of met both of our needs. So the functionality of the table was, of course, important to me, but it was also interesting enough to look at that it wasn't just a solid chunk. And also, full disclosure, they did offer a discount. I'm still paying a lot for the table, but they did offer it. It basically comes down to their shipping it for free, as opposed to having to pay as much as I would otherwise. So it's great. I am excited, and I did not know that they were doing this whole thing. This arrived with a bunch of Greek treats and goodies, and this welcome packet was really slick. So I'm just super
That's
excited
very
about
cool.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
So what made you go with Wormwood?
Yeah, so I've even before I got divorced, when I was living in my old house with my ex-husband, we had considered getting a gaming table for a number of years. And I almost clicked the back button on a bunch of different Kickstarter campaigns. There have been a number that happened over the years from a bunch of different companies. And some of those have completely fallen through, like people never got their tables. In fact, two of my local friends, that happened to them, and Wormwood picked up some of the backers from one of those campaigns.
Wow.
I don't know exactly how the details worked out. I don't want to speak incorrectly, but I know that I think people who got shafted on this other campaign, they don't necessarily get anything monetarily from Wormwood, but they were given early access or something like that to the campaign, and maybe some perks of some kind, because my friends were in one of the first couple of waves, and because of that. So to me, that act of generosity is already a notch in Wormwood's favor, the fact that they're doing something like that.
Yep.
And then also the price point was better than some of the other companies I'd seen, but it did not seem to sacrifice quality. Wormwood has delivered on a bunch of different types of Kickstarter campaigns, not necessarily for tables, but for wooden components and accessories and dice. And they seem to have a really good track record. They seem to be doing good work. And now I'm actually really addicted to their YouTube series, their Worm Life, that shows the behind the scenes of their company and their daily workings. It felt right, and it felt like the right time. And the Kickstarter campaign happened this past fall, right after I got my divorce settlement. So I had the money. So that really, in the end, sometimes the timing just works out right. Yep. But I was like, yes, I was like, the time is now. I'm going to be getting my own house. I don't remember when the Kickstarter campaign was exactly. I don't know if I had the house yet, but I knew I was going to. I knew I was getting a place of my very own. And so it all just kind of fell into place. And it's been a great thing to see all the behind the scenes stuff. Like, I get to watch videos about what's going on at their business all the time because they put them up on YouTube frequently. So yeah.
Very, very cool. Wormwood was one that I looked at as well. They have some gorgeous looking tables and some fantastic workmanship.
I'm definitely not getting the Purple Heart wood because it's crazy expensive, but man, is that Purple Heart pretty.
There's some really nice workmanship.
I'm going for the espresso maple, which is the one that most people are going with. It's, on the lower end price wise, but it still looks nice.
Yes. And, wood choice can make a huge difference in cost, which is, it's a tough decision.
Oh, yeah. I was willing to spend like a little bit more for a prettier looking wood, but when I looked at the price difference between espresso maple and Purple Heart, I was like, no, absolutely not. Not worth that extra amount of money for something that like most people probably wouldn't even notice.
Yes. Let's see. Any other questions before we skip out? Hawkskull asked if the cruise was on my schedule. That's 2022. I had planned to go on the cruise this past year, 2021. That obviously didn't happen. And the kids and my wife and I are planning to be there. And so our reservations went over to this next year, 2022, which I'm excited about. Well, hopefully that is still on the horizon, and I'm looking forward to it for sure. But that's next year.
Yeah, that's surprisingly not that far in the future, though. Oh gosh.
And Corlu said, is this 97? This is episode 96. So we've got 97, 98, 99. In 4 episodes, we're going to hit episode 100.
So 2 months from now.
Yes. So end of July-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We will be having that weird hiccup during the Summer Spectacular. We haven't really decided if we're going to do... We'll probably do a 1 week and then 2 week gap or something, whatever it is, to skip over the Summer Spectacular.
Or you could just tell Tom, hey, we're still doing Dice Tower tonight. You and me are doing it from Florida, and we're bringing Crystal in.
That I need to talk to him. We're recording a podcast tomorrow.
There you go. Yeah, it'll be like the good old days. Have him bring out the weird review copy games that we used to do with and make us review crummy games. Tell him that we should do all of that. We should do a throwback episode.
The only possible snag is if he has scheduled the Dice Tower Awards for that night. So I need to make sure, because last I checked, he's like, no, let's just skip it for... No, okay. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know. But I really appreciate everybody hanging out with us. And Crystal, it's always a joy to talk with you. And
absolutely.
It's a highlight for sure. And it's great to catch up. Who knows what will have happened in another 2 weeks? The next time we get to chat.
It could be anything. My hair could be an entirely different color.
Yes, we didn't even get to talk about your new many-colored, many-hued locks, which just look fantastic. I love whenever you do your reveals, you often put a Twitter or a TikTok video out, and the joy when you're just you're still smiling and happy when, in the before picture, but then, ta-da! It's just glowing. It's not just the color, it's all of you that is just so happy. I love it. I love seeing it every time.
Yep. Okay, well, Hornist said bunny ears, so I'm going to put on the bunny ears real quick. Just for you, Hornist.
Oh, they're way back there.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to get yours. But thank you, everybody, so much for watching this evening. If you could do us a favor, if you enjoyed tonight's show, please click the thumbs up button below the video to let the YouTube algorithms know to make sure that they recommend this video to you again and to your friends. We will be joining you again in 2 weeks. It'll be June at that point, which is nonsensical. It'll be June 9th, in fact. Wednesday, June 9th is our next episode, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And that will be it for us for tonight. So until then, I'm Crystal Dax.
I'm Eric Summerer.
And you've been watching Dice Tower Tonight.
Thank you for watching. Promotional consideration has been provided by game publishers in the form of review copies of games. Crystal and I will see you in 2 weeks for another installment. Our show is supported by viewers like you. Thank you. Dice Tower Tonight is produced by Crystal and me, with assistance from Tom Vassell, Mike DeLisio, Roy Canada, Chris Yee, and Rob Searing. Our sense that the only thing you need to worry about is the sneaking suspicion that you rented the wrong Will Ferrell movie, provided by Nothing to Fear But Fear Its Elf. Timothy Pinkham composed our theme, and hosting is provided by GameNerds.com. Give us your feedback on the Dice Tower Guild at Board Game Geek, on Facebook or Twitter, or by emailing us at crystal@dicetower.com or eric@dicetower.com. And don't forget to visit the other shows in the Dice Tower Network. Find something new at dicetowernetwork.com. Until next time, from all of us at the Dice Tower, have fun.
Have fun gaming. Bye, everybody.
Bye.